Greetings. This is the international organizer and official historian of Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. And I am sending this message to the Congress and to the White House, respectfully requesting that every measure be taken to exonerate the most honorable Marcus Garvey, founder and president of the UNIA and ACL, for a wrongful conviction, which is a crime he did not and could not have possibly committed. And we ask that you also join the world in celebrating a man who's one of the greatest advocates for social justice, staunch proponent of entrepreneurialism and commercial enterprise, as well as a human rights advocate. Mr. Garvey was founder and president of the UNIA in 1914. He organized the largest black mass movement in the world at a time when blacks were being lynched and treated as second-class citizens all across the globe. He organized black people at the time and gave them a sense of dignity and destiny, as Dr. Martin Luther King would later suggest, that Mr. Garvey was one of the greatest leaders who gave us a sense of personhood and some sense of somebodyness. But he not only gave us a sense of pride, he taught us to love ourselves, to think for ourselves, and to start doing for ourselves and break that dependency mentality that many of us had attracted from our enslavement and colonization. And he began to develop enterprises. He began to develop businesses like the Black Star Shipping Line, like a number of hotels and grocery stores and publishing companies and all sorts of industry. In fact, at one point he employed over 5,000 people in the United States. And through his organizing and instilling of pride and teaching self-determination, he angered quite a few people, unfortunately, inside the government and outside the government. Particularly inside the government, J. Edgar Hoover was incensed with his oratory. He thought he was pushing the call for justice a little too fast. And so he directed a number of federal agencies, including the Shipping Board, State Department, etc., to take certain actions wrongfully against Mr. Garvey, which ultimately sabotaged his business operations and resulted with a wrongful conviction of conspiracy to commit mail fraud. Now, I won't litigate the particulars of the case right now, and I think my friend Justin Hansford may do that on his video. But it's important to note that Mr. Garvey was not hostile toward America or wasn't anti anybody. In fact, he always told his followers that we are not at war with America. We are at war with hypocrisy and lies, and that we'll fight to the bitter end. And he definitely, warned us never to wholesalely condemn any group of the human race for the selfish good of another, and that we all come from one blood, and we all should respect and love one another. Aside from that as well, Mr. Garvey was one who inspired greatness. He considered himself an inspirational agitator, and as such, he, during a time when nations of the world were calling for their own independence politically, Ireland for the Irish, India for the Indians. Marcus Garvey also made the cry of Africa for the Africans. And in doing so, he inspired a number of future African leaders to start thinking about independence for themselves from colonization. So you'll notice that the world over, many people are crediting him for Africa's independence, like the founding president Kwame Nkrumah and Nnamdi Azikiwe and Jomo Kenyatta, and many great leaders throughout the African world credit him for the political independence and the vision that sparked that. People like the government of Jamaica, of course, recognizes him as a national hero. The Organization of American States even, celebrates him as a hero and has a bust in their hall right in Washington, D.C., demonstrating his image and likeness and celebrating his legacy. And it's time that the United States join the world in celebrating this great leader. And we're fighting for exoneration for a crime he did not commit. Thank you. And I leave you with the motto of the association: one God, one aim, one destiny.